So I'm on the corner of, well, I'm not on the corner, I'm on Lexington between 103rd Street and 102nd Street. I'm trying to get 102 there. Let me just stop walking across the street. I'm going to come back to this church. This church really fascinating, interesting stuff. So there is 102nd Street. You can't really see it from here. But I just want to get some of these houses here. Look at this one right there, right on the corner of 102. It's really brilliant. We're in Spanish Harlem, New York City, Manhattan. And see these beautiful arches on the top here? As you go down, more arches. And so there's a really steep hill here. I used to hang out in this neighborhood. There's a sunken store. I had a friend that used to sell t-shirts right there. Right under those stairs where the metal grate is. As you go down, more arches, ground level arches there. And again with the hill, just covering the store. And you might think that it was just designed that way. Look at this house right here. The entrance, see the columns? And we notice the columns in Upper East Side, just a few blocks downtown from here. And they're double columns here. The columns appear to be overtaken. That's all one building. It has the columns right in the center. This is all one big building there. Notice the fine arches on top again with the vertical bricks. And those arches in the center are they're dead center in the building. So it looks from the front of it like it's several different buildings, but it's actually all one building. And there's been a lot of work. So you have these arches here that are still there from the original building. And you have these arches here. They're mostly still there, but the columns have been taken over. You have one column on either side of the door on the right, and the columns on the left are gone. The subway there. You pretty much can't see. It's interesting down there. See that arch with the grate in front of it? Right behind this truck. There it is. We're gonna go look at that. I used to hang out in this neighborhood. There used to be a comic book store. I used to buy comic books right there at the bottom of this hill a long time ago. And so I want to come back to this church. This building here has some really fancy fine work on it. And they're actually, I was looking before, I don't know if there are arches on top, but you know, people live here. And the last time I did a video in the Bronx, somebody stuck his head out the window and gave me the finger, told me he was the super and I needed permission, and I had to tell him it's for research, you don't need permission. So this goes down one flight right here. There's some stairs, they got their garbage piled up. But then there's this church, and it goes down two flights. So you'll notice right there, there's like a stone wall on the side. And there's a fence, kind of see. And it goes down another flight. So it's hard to see behind the grating. There's chicken wire there behind the chain link. But I want to point to this arch right here. It's been bricked up with cinder blocks. And you'll notice it's been painted over, but it still has the vertical bricks there. Right there. The bricks are vertical. Vertical bricks over this arch that has been filled in with cinder blocks. And really fine old church, lots of arches. If you look at the windows in the back there, arches, vertical bricks. And some normal windows, and then some really narrow windows there too. Getting the sunlight reflecting. So there you are, normal windows and narrow windows. Hard to see. There you can see them both together. But all right, we're gonna step back and get some good footage of this church. I just wanted you to see how deep it goes. It goes right down. And even in the front, these buildings were taller a long time ago. Rufino Way today, the Ides of March, Friday, March 15th, 2019. You'll notice this arch right here, ground level. There should be a window high up in the air, not right down at ground level. So that's what you get, is this thing is probably another 20, goes down another 20 feet. I would not be surprised. And that's on this side of the hill. The other side of the hill, you know, they only dug out so much. So how old is this hill really? Here it is going down, right down below street level. More archwork there covered up. I don't know if you can see the arch, but it's really beautiful, beautiful craftsmanship there. There's a little piece of an arch right in the corner. And fine church. You can see again the vertical bricks above the arch. Vertical bricks above the arches. And they have these old style buildings all around here in Spanish Harlem. So these bricks on the red brick church there are like the ones in the ones a few blocks up. You can see how they stick out a few blocks down from here actually. And I filmed some other ones where the arches they're staggered. They're stepped out like that. And you have some more over there. The same really fine craftsmanship. This is a Greek Orthodox church, St. George's and Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church. And the other red brick building with this style that I was looking at is part of Hunter College. So it's not like it's the Greek Orthodox style. I found a Russian Orthodox church that had the cross. This is just the same style as that other one downtown around 93rd and 94th Street. And really fine craftsmanship in the red brick design. And so again, these are new stairs. We were just looking under the stairs and we found another arch that had been covered up. The stairs go outside the bricks and you can see the paint cracked. Behind the cracked paint there are the old bricks. Look at that. So the stairs are new. And this old arch here, right at ground level. We got another arch at ground level. So it appears that these buildings were a lot taller at one time, at least 20 feet taller. So yeah, we'll go across the street and look at this arch. Vertical bricks. And I used to buy comic books here 20 years ago. In the 1990s, 25 years ago even. It's been a long time. Things have changed a lot. You'll see a lot more archwork here in the windows, vertical arches, and they've been bricked up like the church. This building here, the arches on the top. There are more arches there. So you can see the archwork remains, and it's identical to the arches we were looking at on the front. But and even at the same level, it's the exact same level, but because of the hill, these arches are windows, and when you go up the hill, those arches are doorways, but it's the same level. So I just want to look at this. Look at this. And there was more than likely there was a face here that's been smashed off. The center, you got the vertical bricks. So, just looking around. But yeah, now that's an entrance to a cellar. There's the church, half buried. Down a lot deeper at one point is what it looks like. And again, I want to zoom in on these arches here, because these double arches like that with the vertical bricks, they've been brick. The red and black paint on it. And you notice the again the staggered brickwork on the center columns there. Vertical brickwork on the top, above ground level. They used to be taller. It's certain. Um, and they're glass panes. So it's really interesting architecture. And there's plenty more right here. This is all one building. We're just going to walk back up the street. Get a closer look right here. Hello. So again, I zoomed in on these before. Now I'm just walking up close to it. And then here you are. Here's this arch. This archway right here is now a big window. And it's a little delicatessen. So they're not exactly identical, but they are at the same level of those other arches. And we'll just give it a peek. See how deep they dug. And it goes right down there. It goes right down pretty deep. So there's stairways, an alley back there. And look, there's another arched window, vertical bricks. Arched windows going up. All the way up. Arches at the top. So I could do more, but I just thought that was enough. Just this one corner, 103rd Street and Lexington Avenue, right by the subway. You can kind of get a peek in there. Goes right down deep. There's a stairway going down. You can see all the way back there. So these buildings are obviously a lot older than we're told. You can see the vertical bricks there when you let it focus. Vertical bricks on top of all the windows, and that's what we're finding. Or this these fancy ornate style pieces. So this church here, again, the staggered brickwork, vertical bricks on top of the arches, and staggered. So who's to say how many windows were bricked up? And this fascinating stuff. Even if they're not arched, they have these. I guess they're rhombuses, rhombus-shaped coverings on a lot of them. And that's enough for one day. Just this one block is fascinating. You can see the buildings down there, arches from here, and the stripes, vertical stripes. So that's way down on 105th Street, an orange building there. But it's as far as I can zoom in. But even there you can see vertical stripes on the arches if you look closely. A few flights down from the top. So it's and one last thing, just the brickwork here. See, the bricks have these checkered inlay, and the staggering again is pointing from the other side. So when was this building really made? Before the mud flood, that's for sure. Not after. You don't get that kind of craftsmanship anymore. And you know, some people have suggested it was 3D printing, or it was stone that was grown, or cast soft. Look, there's a security camera. Very fine work. So, before the mud flood. All right, that's enough.